today's intimacy tip, I want to talk about asking for what you want. So, I have a lot of clients that I work with, and they usually fall into one of three categories. The first category is empty nesters. So, these are couples whose kids are starting to move out of the house. They're in a huge transitional time where they realize they've spent tons of time raising their children, working on their careers, and things are starting to shift and change. And they're realizing that they just have themselves. It's like this new phase of life, and they've neglected their relationship a little bit while they were busy raising their kids and their businesses and all the things. And so they're learning how to relate to each other again. They've kind of let that passion and intimacy fade a little bit. So that's group number one. Group number two is usually a young married couple who's got two, maybe three children, and they're really starting to feel the overwhelm and disconnection that comes when you're like just in the thick of life. You're just really surviving. You're trying to figure out how to care for these little tiny humans who are super dependent on you. You're building up your business or your career, and you don't have a lot of extra time to be spending with each other. And that puts a big, huge strain on the relationship. Neither of you are really getting what you need. You're just barely, doing the day-to-day business type things. And you don't want that to destroy your relationship, right? So that's category number two. Category number three is kind of those I call them midders, no, what do we call them? Middles. They're middles where you're just in the kind of the thick of life and you're feeling in a huge rut. You're not really motivated by anything. You feel like roommates. There's a lot of resentment that's built up, maybe because you haven't been prioritizing your relationship, and you're just really ready for that spark. You're like wondering where all the passion went, and you just aren't really feeling it, right? So those are kind of the three categories of the people that I do coaching with in my practice. And one kind of through line that I've noticed in all of my couples is that they're not really good at asking for what they want. And part of not being good at asking for what they want is that they don't really know. They know that they don't really love what's happening. They know that they're not really in a good space in the marriage. They're not feeling inspired by each other. There's no connection. They aren't really getting what they need out of the marriage, but they haven't really done the work to sit down and get clear about what they do want. Because what happens is when you sit down and you figure out what it is that you really want out of your marriage, then you can ask for it. But what happens is, for wives especially, is that they've spent all of their energy, giving to their family, trying to be the perfect wife, the perfect mom, the perfect all of the things, and they've lost sight of what it is that really lights them up, what they really want out of their life, their goals, their visions, their passions, right? And for husbands, a lot of times they fall into a rut, like, I don't want to rock the boat, I don't want to freak her out or make her mad or whatever. And so they kind of also suppress like what it is they want. And so people aren't asking, they aren't recognizing what's missing, what they actually would like out of their life, their marriage, their future together. They've stopped dreaming. And so my challenge for you today, if you're watching this, if you feel like you're in a little bit of a lull in your marriage, like you're not feeling super inspired and you don't know what it is, but you're having the same arguments over and over again, you just feel like there's not a lot of chemistry, connection, intimacy in your marriage, I want you to sit down and I really want you to examine and get very clear about what it is that you want. What would it look like to feel really connected and passionate? It might be something you want in your career, like it might be some goal you're trying to hit, maybe financially. It might be somebody that you would like to impact. It might be maybe it's a career change for that matter. It might be something in your life, like you would like to learn a new skill or a new sport or go back to school or something like that. Maybe it's in your marriage. You want more connection, more intimacy, more affection, more appreciation, more kissing, more whatever, right? So I want you to really think about what's missing. What is it that you really want? Because when you know what it is that you want, you can start working towards it, right? So all I'm asking you to do is just think about what it is you want, not focus on what it is you're not getting or what's going wrong, because I guarantee nothing has gone wrong. This is like your tap on the shoulder that it's time to grow, right? I whenever I have see my clients, I assure them that nothing has gone wrong. Like, this is your opportunity to grow. This is life telling you that you've reached a point where you've like hit a bit of a plateau and it's time to grow beyond it. So the first step for you to be able to grow beyond this is to figure out exactly what you want, and then you can come talk to me. If you're brave enough, send me a message, an email, a DM, anything, and let me know what it is you came up with. What's on that list of things that you really desire and want out of your life and out of your marriage? And then start asking for that in your marriage. Like, most people avoid conflict because they're afraid of it. They don't want to rock the boat, but that's where real growth happens. It's when you figure out what you want and then you start to ask for it, and then you can either work towards that together as a couple if it's something that you both want, or it's something that you can ask for support from your spouse if it's a goal that you have that maybe your spouse doesn't share, but maybe they can support you in getting that thing or help you figure out how to get more of that thing that you really desire. So that's your hot intimacy tip today, is to figure out what you really want and then talk to your spouse about it. Have a good conversation, connect on that, and just let them know, hey, I'm feeling a little bit empty in my life. I'm really wanting more of this. And then make a plan, figure out how you can get more of that thing. So that's it for your intimacy tip. If you're really looking to grow your relationship, the passion and the intimacy, to get more affection, appreciation, and all of the things, make sure you DM me the word connection, and I'll send you all of the details about training in the art of connection. That's open now for a limited time. Thank you guys so much for coming, and I will see you again next week, same time, same place. Bye for now. To learn more ways to deepen your intimacy and strengthen your relationship, make sure you watch this video next.